Hi, welcome back to Chef Maxwell's Kitchen. We're here in the greenhouses of the Hampton Roads Agricultural Research and Extension Center. Well, that's a tongue twister, I get it out, but it's really doing important work. They're looking into the agricultural practices all over the state. What a dish we've got for you. It's really simple. It's a potato salad, a warm potato salad kind of on the German style. Right? And I've got my Griswold here. Get that hot. Cast iron is wonderful. Right? Gets hot, stays hot. Right? And we're going to combine potatoes with apples. So I'm going to take an apple here, right? And I'm going to just dice it up. Now the recipe that I'm using here calls for me to peel the potatoes and peel the apples. Right? I like peels, so I'm not going to, but you might want to. Right? It depends on who you are and how you like to eat. Right? I happen to like the peels. I think it adds a little color if you don't overcook them. So I got some nice diced apple here. Right? This is now hot enough. So I'm going to add a little bit of bacon fat. Now, put bacon in there, cook the bacon until it's crispy, and take the bacon out and save it for later. I did that earlier, so I'm going to take a little bit of bacon fat, put it in there. I'm going to throw a little bit of onion. As that gets hot, I'm going to cut this onion. And cut it down that way, just into some chunks. And in goes that. It should start sizzling as soon as I put it in there. Yeah, nice sizzle to it. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic. Let that roll around. While that's getting hot, I'm going to throw some potatoes. Now I cook these potatoes. There's a couple of different ways you can do this. You can cook them in the oven, rub them down with a little bit of olive oil, put them in a 400-degree oven until they're brown and crispy and nice and soft. Crispy on the outside, nice and soft on the inside. Or you can boil them until they're done. I boil them because we're here in a greenhouse, and most of those greenhouses don't come equipped with ovens. So I boil them on the top of the stove. And it's going to turn out to be a really wonderful dish. All right. So these are already cooked. All I really need to do is get hot. I'm going to stir that around. And while those are getting hot, I'm going to throw the apples in. Now we got apples and potatoes and bacon fat in there. We're going to add the bacon a little bit later and let that get in there. But a lot of sweet. Carbohydrates go to glucose in your mouth and in your system. The apples have got a lot of sugar in them. So we're going to add a little bit of vinegar, some cider vinegar, right, to give it a little sharpness. Let that cook around some. I love the smell of bacon and vinegar. It's just wonderful. You can't beat it. And I'm going to season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. And the potatoes take a lot of salt. Don't be surprised to see a lot of salt being required by potatoes. Okay, here we go with that. All right. Now I'm going to take some rosemary. Pull these off. Now, I recommend you not use dried rosemary. Use fresh rosemary, because when you dry rosemary, it turns into these little needles that never soften up in your stew. So you got these sharp stickers all the time. So fresh works nice. It's almost always available now, especially from greenhouses. There's a place in the western part of the state, Shenandoah Farms, that just masters at these kinds of things. In that goes. I'm going to stir this around. The good thing about this dish is you can get interrupted. You know, your kids can come in, the phone can ring, something good on TV, and you can go watch it for a few minutes and come back, and it's not going to hurt anything. Because the more those apples cook, the more caramelized they're going to get, and the sweeter they're going to add to the dish. Right? So we're just about ready. We're going to let this cook for a couple of more minutes, and then we're going to pull it out of the pan and put it on a plate and enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. So we'll be back in just a moment. All right, we've let this cook for a couple of minutes. Now the apples are nice and soft, the potatoes are hot all the way through, the onions are caramelizing nice. I'm going to cut this bacon up. All right. And I'm going to throw that in there. All right, and stir this around. Can you think of a better combination? Apples and potatoes and rosemary and apples. Ah, I said apples twice, didn't I? All right, but that's because they're doubly good. Rosemary pairs really, really nice with apples. Right? Think about an apple pie and think about what it would taste like with a little bit of rosemary in it. It just really kicks it into a whole new dimension. It's very, very good. Right? It's good for desserts. Just like basil goes so nicely with strawberries. All right, nice looking plate. You can see that these potatoes have started to get a little bit of color. Now you can cook them as long as you want and get as much color onto them as you want. Get a little bit of this good stuff down here. All right, turn off the plate. I'm going to get a little bit of rosemary to decorate with. And we're just about there. And we're going to have to turn the camera off because everybody in the room is drooling now and it doesn't look good on camera. So there we go. Now I'm not like a lot of chefs that have this sail coming up out of it. I like to have everything down in the food. So here we go. We've got potato, apple, rosemary, onions in a warm potato salad. I can draw a little bit of this juice. This is big and I'm not going to do it now, but I could pour this juice over there and it would be really, really nice. Remember, here at Chef Maxwell's, we always play with our food, but it's better if the food is safe, fresh, and locally grown. For more delicious recipes using Virginia-grown fruits and vegetables, contact Lisa Lloyd at the Virginia Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services at 102 Governor Street, Richmond, Virginia, 23219.
Chef Maxwell's recipes are listed on the Save Our Food website at saveourfood.org.